Well, August continues to hold out some hope for those summery conditions. So far today, we've seen those mostly sunny skies with very few clouds in the sky, a few of those starting to roll in as we get more into the afternoon. But you can already tell it's been fairly warm today. It's been fairly warm all weekend long, and that's something we can continue to enjoy this week. Now, with our weather headlines and our photo from Jim Kinshalo, beautiful view of Mount Rainier, and I just love how it kind of hides the sun and just great photo, great sunset picture. But with our weather headlines, with South Central continuing on a warming trend, you might have noticed that this weekend, and we're continuing to see that starting off our work week, especially for tomorrow. Now, showers are returning for the north and western coastlines. We're seeing some low pressures start to move in, and rain is continuing in southeast, but it's starting to taper off just a little bit. Now, so far today in Anchorage, we're slightly above normal with those temperatures. Normally, we're at 64 degrees, but today we're closer to 67 degrees, which is still quite far off from our record. But still, it's nice to know when there's just a little bit warmer temperatures than what we're usually expecting. We've continued to see this trend in a lot of places. Now, I mentioned Cold Bay earlier. That's another one of those places that's seeing those warmer temperatures from yesterday. Even Dead Horse is seeing 10-degree warmer temperatures than what we saw yesterday. So just a little bit of a warming trend, and I want you to keep note of where these numbers are starting to be much warmer, because you can really start to see that reflected here as this ridge starts to build in. So as this ridge moves in, that's really what's bringing those warmer temperatures and bringing in slightly clearer skies as well. Not completely clear skies, but just a little bit less rainfall. So that's moving in over the Alaska Peninsula right now. That's what's bringing in South Central some of those more sunny skies and some of those warmer temperatures as well, keeping those above normal temperatures. But this low pressure over southeast is, of course, what's bringing in all of those showers recently. But you can tell it's starting to move out, starting to push south, which is also pushing out some of that rain. So a little bit less rain starting off the work week. But of course, up in the North Slope, we're seeing this low pressure system starting to move in. And as we get into Monday and Tuesday, that's when some of those showers are starting to roll in from this storm. Now, this is also bringing in a frontal boundary, which is going to bring in some showers, which you're going to start to see build up right around here. So Monday and Tuesday, we're going to start to see some of those moisture paths moving through the state and shifting south towards South Central. So that's just something we can kind of expect to see the next few days. Expected rainfall, you can see where that frontal boundary starts to hit, bringing in some showers into Utqiagvik. And of course, with low pressure moving out of southeast, that's where we're starting to see a little bit less of those rainfall counts. So it is starting to move out, which is something you can look forward to in southeast, but it's not over quite yet. It's still going to continue through Monday, but it is going to start to push out by the time Tuesday and Wednesday moves in. The temperatures still staying fairly warm in the 60s and even 70s in Skagway, which is fairly warm, so you can look forward to that. The interior is staying fairly warm in the mid-60s and continued cloud cover, mostly cloudy to partly cloudy skies with some afternoon showers in Delta Junction. The North Slope is starting to see a little bit more of those cloudy conditions moving in, with a little bit of showers moving through, but slightly cooler temperatures in the 40s. And of course, over in western Alaska, we're seeing those temperatures around normal, just slightly warmer in areas like Nome, and having some of those cloudy conditions pushing in from the low pressure system that's up north. Now, the Aleutians are continuing to see some slightly sunnier conditions, especially in areas like Dillingham and St. Paul, but a little bit of scattered showers throughout areas like Cold Bay and Unalaska. Now, over in South Central, of course, we're seeing those temperatures in the 60s, even closer to 70 in some areas, but we're staying mostly sunny to partly cloudy in most areas in Matsu. That's another thing we've expected and what we've seen. And of course, here in Anchorage, that's another thing that we've been seeing, is those temperatures just above those mid-60s and staying fairly sunny, mostly sunny. But Fairbanks is continuing to see those clouds. So, Michaela, the next few days in Anchorage is going to stay pretty warm.
I love that it's hovering in the 60s in Fairbanks and Anchorage. Thanks, Bailey.